Please subscribe my channel to help me grow. The moment my phone lit up with read at 10:02 p.m. after an entire day of silence, something inside me cracked so sharply it felt like a bone snapping in my chest. I stared at the screen, my breath stalling, my fingers trembling around the device. I had called her 7 times, sent 3 texts, left 2 voice messages. Nothing. Not even a glance. Then suddenly, one red receipt. I could almost hear my own heartbeat echoing inside the quiet living room. The TV hummed in the background, playing something I wasn't watching. The house smelled faintly of the stir-fry I made hours earlier, the pan still sitting on the stove untouched because I had convinced myself she'd walk through the door any minute. But she didn't. Instead, she finally replied. "Can we talk? I need to tell you something. I messed up." My stomach rolled. The air seemed to thicken around me. I typed back with shaky fingers. "Are you okay? Where are you?" Her reply came fast. "Parking. I'm coming in." A cold sweat prickled up my spine. Something was wrong. Very wrong. I felt it in my bones before she even stepped through the door. When the lock clicked, I froze. She walked in slowly, her shoulders hunched, hair messy, clothes wrinkled like she had slept in them. She wouldn't meet my eyes. She closed the door behind her with a soft thud that sounded final in a way I couldn't yet understand. "Where were you?" I whispered. She flinched. "Please let me explain." The smallest, stupidest part of me still hoped for anything ordinary. A dead phone. An emergency at work. A fight with a friend. Something human. Something repairable. But she looked destroyed. And guilty. So painfully guilty. I swallowed hard. "Say it." She rubbed her palms together, like she was trying to warm them, even though the room wasn't cold. "I ignored your calls. I know. I didn't know what to say." "What happened?" Her eyes finally met mine. Red. Glossy. Torn apart. "I had a one-night thing," she said quietly. "The world didn't explode. It didn't shatter. It just drained. Like all the color slid out of the room and left everything gray and hollow. I didn't breathe. Couldn't. What?" My voice broke around the words. "A one-night thing," she repeated softly. My legs nearly gave out. I sank onto the couch, my vision blurring around the edges. I felt the kind of rage that doesn't scream, doesn't shake things, doesn't burn hot. It was cold. Quiet. Surgical. "Who?" I forced out. She hesitated. Just that moment of hesitation was a knife to my ribs. "Someone from work," she said. "It just happened." "No," I snapped. "Nothing just happens." She covered her face with her hands. "I was stressed. I was overwhelmed. I felt disconnected from you lately and he was just there." "You felt disconnected?" I asked, my voice rising. "So you cheat?" "I didn't plan it." "People don't accidentally fall onto someone," I said bitterly. Her shoulders shook. Tears slipped through her fingers. I watched her fall apart, and instead of comforting her, all I could think was that she hadn't cried for me once today. Not when she ignored my calls. Not when she spent her day with someone else. But now she cried because the truth was coming out. And she hated the consequences. "What do you want from me?" I asked softly. "Forgiveness? Understanding? What?" "I want you to know it meant nothing," she whispered. "It was a mistake. The second it was over, I hated myself." I stared at her. Really stared at her. Her mascara smudged. Her voice trembling. Her guilt pouring out in waves. And for a brief, shameful moment, I wanted to hold her. I wanted to tell her we could fix this. I wanted to erase the image of her with someone else. But another part of me, the part that still had dignity left, refused to let the fantasy win. "How long?" I asked. She looked confused. "It was one night." "No. How long have you been unhappy enough to do this?" She froze. Completely. And that was my answer. She didn't need to say a word. My chest tightened painfully. Months. Maybe longer. All those arguments she dismissed. All the distance she denied. All the nights she said she was tired. All of it suddenly snapped into a clear, brutal pattern. "You should stay at your sister's tonight," I said quietly. She gasped. "No. Please. I want to stay here. We can talk. We can work through it. I can't look at you right now." The silence that followed felt like suffocating under a heavy blanket. She nodded slowly, wiping her face, grabbing her bag with shaking hands. Before she opened the door, she whispered, "I love you." It didn't hurt the way she hoped it would. It felt empty. When the door closed behind her, I finally let myself collapse. My breath trembled violently. The quiet house felt foreign, like a place I no longer belonged to. Then my phone buzzed again. A message. From her coworker. "I'm sorry you found out this way." My blood ran ice cold. She had lied again. It wasn't a random one-night thing. Someone had reached out. Someone who felt entitled to tell me. Someone who thought I already knew. I stared at the message, my chest tightening, realization crashing down hard. This wasn't a mistake. It was a secret. One they had both expected her to confess long before tonight. And that truth hurt more than anything else.